he's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said. He'll make America great again. So get on that truck.
KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's 6:05 on a Friday. Yeah, you made it Friday. Some of you sleeping in. Lots of turkey, Thanksgiving celebration, and all that. And I got to get out with Helen a little bit, and we went and had Thanksgiving in a couple places. That's what happens when you, newly married people do that. You got to go to the wife's family, the husband's family. Remember those days, and especially if there's a divorce involved, because then it's potentially 3, and you can't show favoritism. Still, it's enjoyable. It's all a good time. Yeah, you get around. Well, now that I'm remarried, it's there's more opportunity. There's a lot more opportunity, which is also enjoyable. My daughter, of course, lives in town, and we went and saw the Buckmans for Thanksgiving, and 6 kids, which is absolutely crazy but fun, especially the 3-year-old. I don't know, the 3-year-old Gray Skull, real name Grayson. He a very strong, aggressive, wanted to fight Grandpa, which I accommodated him. I think I won, but God, that boy is relentless. Doesn't feel pain. I think he's gonna, and I attend some MMA stuff, and that I see him. I said, we need to start training this kid. He's just absolutely the right guy. I don't know if 3 years old is the right age. I don't know, but we need to get this kid. This kid's special, man. He wants to go constantly. And it's not that he's not a good-natured boy. He is. He's a great-natured boy. But yeah, I got to see all the kids, and of course, Casey, my daughter, and Brad, my son-in-law, who has ALS, and at the point where he can barely walk, but still there's joy in that house. And the kids are so helpful. Everybody pitch in, so it's a great thing. And then it was Brian and Ashley Franklin, which is Helen's stepson, and absolutely a wonderful time. And we got there late. I think a lot of the family, and there's a lot of extended family, were all there, and they were just taking off as we got there. But we stayed and had a good time with Brian and Ashley for quite a while. So wonderful. And he's, Brian's in the farming community, seeds and stuff. And I perceive as a hardworking and going out and doing a lot of the right things. Always fun to learn about these different families and what's going on. But a great family man, great family, enjoyable to go see. He has horses and those kind of things. Stuff way outside my working knowledge. So I'm always interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, horses. I've been on horses. Those horses where you go to a resort or something, and they have horses set up for you, and they help you get on them and you ride the horses, which I've done. I've done that. It's not rocket science, but I would not consider myself, much of a horse rider. But I've enjoyed it every time I've been out on those kind of ventures. And all those horses are probably not the best for the cowboys. Probably not the best. My horse was acting up. In fact, they gave me a horse that was acting up on purpose. I think it was in Tucson at a resort, years ago. But the horse was acting up, and the leader, the horse trainer, the guy that was with us, said, kick that horse like it stole your Porsche. And I said, okay, we'll do that. And the horse making progress. He traded me horses. and got on it and rode that horse around like a crazy man to get that horse in line and gave it back to me, which was an interesting day. Yeah, that was interesting. That was a resort that took us out. And then they came in with trailers, picked all the horses up. We were at a campfire, with they fed us, a nice dinner and had people come in, singing folk songs, all kinds of stuff, and then we went back to the ranch on buses. So yeah, it was not like a normal horse riding venture in that we were well monitored and taken care of, and they took care of the horses. Uh, a little bit of news on Tesla that I wanted to, its phone lines are open 928-344-5258. The Tesla is launching their latest version of the with FSD. That's the full self-driving autopilot. I think they called it autopilot when they put it in. I don't know why they wanted to be like an airplane. But it's 14.2. It's V14.2, and they're having a 30-day free trial for self-driving. And now it's supervised. You can't, when you self-drive, that doesn't mean you get in the back seat and say, "Take me home, car, take me home," or you can name your car, whatever you want to name it, I guess. Take me home, and that's not it. You have to be at the wheel to supervise. And the owners have to have a hardware 4.0, and I don't know when that was released and what your Tesla you have to have. And in this trial, this 30-day trial, of course, they're doing research and they're finding out, well, how well does it work? How well does it do things? And they look for critical disengagement. And a critical disengagement is when the self-driving is taking your car along and you're observing and watching and looking at the scenery, and something happens that you need to take control of the car, which, once you grab the wheel, move apparently, or hit the brakes or something, it disengages the self-driving. And they rate this by how many miles you drive before it's a disengagement, which means a few things. Now, one, it's not perfected. They know that. That's why it's in these testing stages. And another one is you better pay a lot of attention. Now, I think you could lull yourself into that you're safe and no big deal, and read a book, but the car would catch you reading a book and you would be kicked out of the program. Did you know that? Yeah, they have cameras inside the cars. But no, you got to pay attention because you're testing it to make sure the car doesn't make a mistake. They said that the FSD V14 is going to have a critical disengagement of 5,300 miles, which means the average miles before the car makes a mistake and you got to disengage to avoid a situation you don't want to be in, is 5,300 miles and 2,400 in the city. Those are impressive, but that doesn't mean it's foolproof. And I don't know how many of you go 5,300 miles and don't have a critical engagement yourself with no problems. But they said that the version before this, and I think it was right before this, the FDS V13, it was at 460 miles. Now it's at 5,300 miles. That's huge progress. And they're still collecting data, and that's what this is all about. And I think the city was 229. They say it's still far below what's needed for true self-driving. I guess where it's in robo-taxis and stuff like that, where you Google or you call an Uber type programming and say, "I need a pickup. I'm going somewhere," and then you just get in the back seat and the car takes you there and drops you off. According to Elon Musk, and he said we'd be there in 10 years. He said that a while ago. I don't think we've reached the 10 years, but it sounds like this version 14, pretty impressive. If it's really going to go 5,300 miles for a critical disengagement, it sounds like, yeah, they're right around the corner to improvement. That's an improvement of over 10 times versus the version 13. So they must have learned a lot from all that on what's problematic for these things, what they can find out that the car didn't catch, so they redirect that. Many people would never trust this. Many people I've talked to them that said I know people that say, I'll never do that. I'll never own a car that's self-driving. I'll never feel comfortable. I don't trust it and all those kind of things. I understand that. But when you look at the statistics across the nation, for the amount of car accidents there are, drunk driving accidents, inattentive driving, people doing 10 times the speed limit or something, something stupid, it's high. Still what, 30, 40,000 deaths every year on the highway. That is like tonnage. That's a massive amount of deaths on the highway every year. Not just the highway, but I mean on the roads. The right now with this car, would we save lives? Even though it's got a critical disengagement of 5,300, would lives be saved? If not yet, I mean, it's got to be right around the corner that, yeah, it's going to save it. But I get the impression that we accept the 30 to 40,000 as an everyday. I mean, every year. Yeah, well, that's too bad. That's sad and it's terrible. But that's what happens because we enjoy the opportunities for this travel, and it doesn't come without some danger. It does. Every time you get in a car, there's some danger. It's not necessarily you driving, and it could be someone else driving that hits you. And I've had friends that have had just tragedy in their families where have lost loved ones due to drunk drivers hitting them or something. It's just absolutely tragic. Could this avoid that? Yeah. Although I get the impression from many people, it's going to have to avoid it 100% because what's the tolerance of a car of a car that's self-driving, reducing deaths but not having zero? And what is that tolerance level? I mean, right now, if it was released and they said, "Look, good news, this is going to save half the lives that are lost every year in driving." So, in other words, instead of 30 to 40,000, it's going to be 15 to 20,000. Would we accept it? Would we say, "Hey, that's awesome. Let's turn it loose today"? I don't think so. I think the public wants some kind of confirmation that it's going to be near zero, if not zero. And I don't know. I don't know if that's realistic or not. I don't know. I mean, something could always happen. It is electronic. It's digital, and it can happen. But what is the point? I mean, what is the point? What is the point of safety that we're looking for? Would a reduction of 50%, if that's not good enough, would a reduction of 75%, 90%? Let's say you did 90%. So now it's 3 to 4,000 people a year die in car accidents. If we go 100% self-driving, 3 to 4,000, would everyone jump up and down and applaud? And we just saved 90% of the fatalities. I don't think so. I don't know. But from anecdotally, the people I've listened to, they would still find that repugnant. No way. We would accept the 30 to 40,000 deaths first because at least individuals are doing it, I guess. It's an amazing topic to me because I hear so many people against it 100% and will never accept it. And they'll look at just one fatality as being too much, where they kind of turn a blind eye to what's going on every day. And they're not looking for improvement. They would look for it to be zero. And then I think many still would not get in one. They would not. Track record or not, I don't think they're going to get in it myself. I read an article, and I read this the other day, and I've been thinking it happened at the Arizona State University, so it's right here in Arizona. Professor made some observations and wrote about the diversity scam, and we've had a diversity scam for many years going on, and the diversity scam to me is I think there was a black preacher that one time, and I don't remember his name, and I'm sorry about that. I don't remember his name, but he spoke about diversity and the definition of diversity, and he said he was asked to speak at a diversity thing, and he commented about it. He said he looked up into the crowd. And it was, people of every nationality, every color, Everything was out there, Native Indians, Eastern Indians, Caucasians, black, a whole just cornucopia of different races out in there. But he said there was zero diversity. Yeah, the mindset was all leftist. The mindset was all one way. The mindset was cancel culture for anybody that didn't believe in diversity like they believed in diversity. I mean, they hang their flag on diversity on one issue. We're of different sexes, different genders, different gender identities, and totally accepting of everybody except people that don't think like us. And he said he just looked out there and didn't see not a single bit of diversity. Because there wasn't diversity of ideas. And what's more important? Well, depends on who you're talking to about importance. On what is diversity. Does diversity say I have somebody of a different skin tone, then I think we're missing the point. I don't think that's as deeply impressive as somebody with a different idea and different mindset. It's much more interesting versus living inside this bubble of thought that there's only one way to get things accomplished, and we must get along with it, or we don't belong in that bubble, and then you're canceled. Arizona State University is probably no different. They have a diversity bubble, and that's what this article's about. The academic guy that wrote this he says he teaches philosophy, and he posts these statements on the websites of the Sandra Day O'Connor College Law and the Hayden Library. The library even affirms that, and he's talking about what the statements from the Arizona State University are and the law school are. He says, library affirms that we are an Okim Odam land, Indian land, and that always needs to be the forefront of our thinking. Now, the professor says the implication is clear. U.S. sovereignty becomes an open question. Well, that is the point. These acknowledge aims to be problematize the legitimacy of the United States, a central goal of the academic decolonization movement. I believe that. So for 6 years, they required facility to listen to one at the start of every meeting. You had to listen to that every meeting about how, land stolen or something and from a sovereign nation. And he wondered, whether it was a gesture of respect, a symbolic nod, what is this all about? Nobody's saying, well, take my property or whatever. Well, he had a meeting at the new college facility meeting of state employees conducting public business, and he asked a straightforward question. He said, given our commitment to diversity, may I also read a land acknowledgement of my own before each meeting? My acknowledgement, he says, was not to provocate. He said, it thanked the generations of settlers, farmers, builders, capitalists, and families who transformed the Salt River Valley into a place capable of supporting a world-class university. It affirmed that we serve all students and help them prosper. That was his message. So he wanted to just get acknowledgement of his message, and he made a motion, to put that into the minutes. Acknowledgement of that message, an acknowledgement really of support and thanking the generations of people that did the things that they were capable of, and building, educating, that they could build and support a world-class university, and that they want to serve all students, that help them prosper. Made a motion. He said the discussion required only a second. Not approval, not endorsement, only a willingness to debate the proposal. No one seconded it. Nobody in the university seconded it. Of course, it was a test, probably. It probably was a test to see how committed are you to diversity. Will you embrace those that are different than you? Or will you reject them? Well, they rejected him. He said he didn't ask colleagues to agree with his acknowledgement. I asked only to read it. He said, I'd gladly read anyone's on their own. They said, let every faculty member present a statement of grievance, a cause they feel compelled to highlight. Why limit the practice to one perspective? The official records now shows that not one faculty member at ASU's new college would second a motion to expand diversity. Well done by this professor, by the way. I don't know if he's still a professor there. He probably is going to be kicked out of that tribe. He said that episode highlights a distinction philosophy. The distinction between appearance and reality. Faculties preach diversity in a language that collapses into ideological uniformity. Many cannot describe a compelling view without reducing it to a script, oppressed versus oppressor. And anyone who falls outside that category, they become a threat. His request challenged the boundaries to that framework, to the decolonization mindset. His acknowledgement represented the wrong category. Heritage tied to settler guilt or oppressor identity. The ideology cannot imagine anything beyond that narrow frame. So pluralism, the real kind, permits disagreement and debate. What we have now resembles stage-managed pluralism. You read the script you were handed, you stay quiet. The academic left rose to influence by praising inclusivity and tolerance. Once in power, it exempts itself from those principles because tolerance, in its view, cannot extend to anyone labeled bigot. And inclusion cannot extend to anyone lumped into the category fascist. Only the Marxist dialect survives the screening. Now, he goes on to say that some readers would probably think this is just, it's a harmless gesture. He assures us they're not. The decolonization theory, rooted in a lot of works that he names here, Eve Tuck and K. Wayne Yang's, decolonization is not a metaphor, which defines decolonization as the overturning of settler society. Practitioners describe their own projects as Marxist. That is the label they choose. The question of private property, Western legal concepts, and American national legitimacy is something that is a threat. And they do not they don't describe that history that they advanced ideology. And it's seen through the lens of reaction to his request becomes predictable. Hypocrisy becomes impossible to miss. Academic reasoning is out. One hopes university professors, presumably trained to evaluate arguments, could step outside ideological commitments long enough to examine their assumptions. The jobs once required that. But critical theory, as taught by many departments, closes off that possibility. It demands that every fact, dispute, or policy fit into the predetermined narrative of oppression. Herbert Marcus, in The One-Dimensional Man, argued that intellectuals must not describe reality as it is, but reshape society towards liberation from capitalism and Christian tradition. That approach leaves little room for honest debate. And he's got a real remedy. He says, critical theory teaches that man is a victim of systems and structures. Scripture teaches that man is a sinner in need of redemption. Marxist theory believes society must be remade. Christians believe the heart must be reborn. Jesus told Nicodemus, you must be born again. A direct claim about the human condition. Our deepest problem is not a defective system, but a corrupted heart. No bureaucratic revolution can fix that. Ideologies that promise liberation from greed or power often create something worse when handed authority. The human dilemma runs deeper than political structures, and the solution rises higher than only academic program. There is an acknowledgement I would like to hear at our university. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. We'll be right back.
Overnight tonight, cool 50, partly cloudy skies, 76 and sunny on Friday, 48 Friday night. And then for the continuation of the holiday weekend, sunny and 74 Saturday, 73 and sunny on Sunday.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Allo Fiber's got the real deal. Check this out right now. Switch, stack, and save, combining Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, and lock in your price for 2 years. 2 years of premium service with no surprises. Check it out at allofiber.com/stack.
There's a man in D.C.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. The trade deal between Mexico and Canada, it's the USMCA, or it took, and that's literally the U.S.-Mexico trade, or Mexico-Canada agreement. That's what the USMCA come in. It replaced NAFTA, which was the North American Free Trade Agreement. Well, apparently there's an opportunity that's coming up. There's going to be a short review of the three countries. And Trump has pointed out some, problems with the trade that, we lost a lot in that trade agreement. And Trump's been busy fixing that, with threats of tariffs and other things going on that, some of that's about the fentanyl trade too, which has been crazy. Or the fentanyl, it's not trade, it's coming in illegally. During the first Trump administration, they worked on that pack, and the president, U.S. Trade Representative Bob Lighthizer, and the rest of the team secured numerous concessions and worked on that. They strengthened intellectual property protections. And that helped prevent foreign rivals from stealing technologies, designs, and from innovative American companies, reduce foreign free riding on Americans' investments in innovation and intensive American firms to boost their research and all that. Well, one of the biggest concessions was a requirement that Mexico and Canada offer 10 years of regulatory data protection to cutting-edge biologic medicines grown from living cell cultures. Well, it was excluded from the final version, apparently. That wasn't done. It was they say 11th hour. I think everything in Congress 11th hour, that's intentional. They put it off, which I was really unaware. But rival companies aren't allowed to use a clinical trial data of biologic developed to create their own knockoff products. That's what it would have stopped, but it got killed. And we all know that creating medicines, biologic medicines, it requires years, lots of regulatory hoops to jump through, research, trials, all that kind of stuff. It's billions of dollars to put a new drug on the market. And of course, that R&D, research development, is worked into the price of the drug, whatever that is, a pill, a shot, whatever. Because the company's got to get their investment back. Otherwise, nobody would develop anything. Well, not develop it and have it approved. Having it approved, developing is probably a lot cheaper than having it approved. And and then the incentives would stop, and we'd stop, doing all that. Well, the United States already provides 12 years of data protection for biologics, and the USMCA wouldn't have altered that domestic standard. The original draft of the USMCA would have simply brought Canada and Mexico closer to our level in order, on the playing field. We had 10 years instead of 12. And they wanted to have protections abroad so that these companies would also have protections and could sell and collect their R&D and all that. But it didn't happen. The provision designed to reduce foreign freeloading was stripped from the agreement at the insistence of one person. The insistence of that person, that was the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi. She was Speaker of the House under Trump. And her support was necessary. It wasn't going to pass. It wasn't going to pass the House without Nancy Pelosi. Well, the article I'm reading saying we got a chance to fix that, because right now, drug companies can produce new drugs, new things, and put it on the market. And we wonder why the United States has to pay such a higher price. Well, they don't have to follow the patents and all the protections on all that, and they can produce it cheaper because they didn't have any research and development. Their research and development was to look and see what we just did here, spending millions and billions of dollars. Well, there's an opportunity now to for the companies to look at that. And I know Trump was working on the drugs back then, getting the prices down. That price comes mostly from research and development costs, those kinds of things, which the companies have to recoup. And they couldn't recoup it overseas because it could be copied and whatever. Trump administration recently placed Mexico on a special 301 priority watch list. I don't really know what that is, but they're on it. The federal government's it's just compilation of serial intellectual property violators. That's due to longstanding and significant IP concerns. Mexico has failed to implement patent enforcement systems, patent term restoration regulations, and the copyright enforcement that is promised, and has allowed trademark counterfeiting, copyright piracy to run rampant. Its failures have eroded the protections American innovators that we've gained through trade back. So apparently that's back on the table. This will be reading, looked at again. The USMCA. I was unaware that was knocked out by Nancy Pelosi. That part about the drugs and the intellectual properties, and I really can't. I'm trying to think of why. Why would that be knocked out? As you know, the drug companies, insurance companies, drug companies, hospitalization companies, they're one of the biggest contributors to campaign funds. Senators and representatives, whatever. It's very expensive to run those campaigns, very expensive to get elected. You get people of like mind that will give you money and help to be elected, and that money and help, a lot of it comes from these drug companies. Why would the drug company not want that patent reinforcement is beyond me. I don't know. I can't see the big picture. Was Nancy just trying to manipulate some stock so she could make better investments? I don't know. I don't know what that is. It kind of surprises me. I would have thought most of Congress would have been very protective of our companies and intellectual properties. Apparently not the case. The Democrats killed it, and Democrats represented by Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is the one that pulled the trigger on that and had the power and support at the House, being the House leader, Speaker of the House. She could stop things and very easily because they had the majority also at that time. So a chance to get back to it right now. Hopefully they do, and we don't know what's going to happen to the House next year. I hear a lot of predictions from the left. I hear predictions there's going to be an overwhelming landslide for Democrats, and from the right, I hear that that's going to not be the case. Historically, historically, the sitting president will lose House members, significant numbers sometimes, House members in the first election after they get sworn in as president. In 2 years. I hope that's not the case. There's still a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work. We got a lot of problems out there. And one of those problems is just amazing to me, and that is the anger, the open revolt coming from governors saying we don't want ICE on our streets, we won't support, we won't help you, get rid of criminals. The embracing of that program by many states, Illinois and California, the most obvious, but there's others. They're the ones that come up the most, and I think it results in a lot of hate on the streets, and it results in a lot of personal attacks against established, ICE members, established National Guard, and all that just happened in D.C. That hate is started at the loudest level, which is the politicians. They get the most press. They get loud. You got Pritzker and Newsom, for example, that are out preaching on a regular basis that we shouldn't have ICE. It's authoritarian, jackbooted thugs, Nazis, taking over streets, unwelcomed, hurting our people, while they're taking criminals off the street that are raping, murdering, stealing, and having these leaders of state, these governors, and of course senators and representatives and people, but it seems to be very partisan. It seems to be mostly all Democrats that are anti-authority, calling it jackbooted thugs, calling them unwelcome, and all that. And yes, the National Guards that were attacked, the two National Guard members that were attacked in D.C., I think that attack has to be fueled by that rhetoric. It has to be fueled by that anger. And that's unfortunately coming from our leaders. And of course, those same leaders that are fueling that anger come right out immediately almost and mention that the only reason these National Guard members were attacked is because Trump put them on the streets. Trump put them out there. Yes, and that we shouldn't have uniforms on the street. That was from one commentator, that any uniform is going to trigger people. Absolutely ridiculous. Uniforms are worn by first responders, by police officers, by sheriff, U.S. Marshals, all kinds of people are wearing uniforms. Yeah, uniforms are bad. Well, we did lose one National Guard member, Sarah Breckstrom, 20 years old of West Virginia, and I'll say her name. We just found out about it. Originally, the names weren't released, and I guess as they dealt with family and the horrific shooting that happened right there on Thanksgiving, she died. She succumbed to her injuries. She was shot. Trump put out a statement. He said, I heard that Sarah Breckstrom of West Virginia, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June 2023, outstanding in every way, has just passed away. She is no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. It's just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead now. The second service member wounded in the attack, Andrew Wolf, 24, is still fighting for his life. He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life, and hopefully we'll get better news with respect to him. The suspected gunman, an Afghan national, Trump also called him a monster. He's also in serious condition. We won't even talk about him, and he left it. Good. We shouldn't. We don't keep track, but we don't need to talk about him. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ. How are we doing?
We're doing well, Carl. Good morning.
Good morning. You were talking about different parties, and my 2 cents today is going to be on LD23.
Okay.
LD23, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 seats available in LD23.
Okay. Yes. If you're talking about the House.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Michelle Pena.
Right.
Okay, I apologize. I get things back. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I
Now,
say 2 seats in the House, 1 on the Senate. Yeah.
yes. Okay. Now, what is there's 2 seats, and there's always two Democrats running to get that seat. Okay. Now, when the Republican single shot Michelle Pena, that splits their vote and gives Republican one of those seats. And that seat that we're talking about on Michelle Pena is the one that's red, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is going to happen on election is what the Democrats, and I feel this is the Democrats who do it, or somebody that didn't make money do it. What they did is we're going to have 2 Democrats running and have 3 so-called Republicans running, which splits our vote, and then it sends our House back to the Democrats.
Not necessarily. No, well,
plan.
I understand it. The best case scenario would be a single seat approach. That would be the best.
That is the only way that we can keep.
I think Michelle may be strong enough to win it no matter what. I mean, she's got quite a track record and all that. But I'm agreeing with you that it's a shame that they're putting this extra obstacle there. Yes.
So what I'm really saying, we already know Michelle is very expensive. And so what they have done, they put up 2 other people to run against her, trying to pull him. So that means that we really have to work hard for Michelle Pena to keep Arizona red.
I'm going to agree that we need to work hard for Michelle Pena because she does a wonderful job and she's a great lady and needs our support. And I know I don't know anything about both of the candidates running alongside Michelle, and I'm talking on the Republican side of the ticket. I know one of them, and I was surprised that he threw his name in there that could possibly cause some problems with that. But I don't know much about the other one, but maybe the design was to jump in there and see if they couldn't lessen her chances a little bit by diluting the vote a little bit. But I haven't spoken with either one at this point.
Well, when you have 2 Democrats running and 2 or 3 Republicans running, we'll lose the House.
Well, of course, in the primary, it's going to be whittled down to 2 and 2. You know, it won't be 2 and 3. It's going to be 2 and 2.
Well, that's true, but when you're 2-1 Democrat, you lose the seat. And if I'm not a gambling man, but I'd go to Vegas and put money on that one.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't bet against Michelle.
No,
I think she's strong enough to weather this.
I'm not going to bet against Michelle, but I'm betting that the 2 candidates against her will pull enough votes to make her lose.
Well, it can't. It's only going to be 1 against her in the general. It's not going to be 2. It's only going to be 1. I don't know, and I hope not. But it does add an extra obstacle. There's no question.
So however it ends up, what the Republicans do and need to single shot Michelle Pena again, that is the only way we're going to say that, in my opinion, as far as in Vegas. So,
well,
I don't want to take any of this.
I wouldn't count it out, Carl. I wouldn't. I think Michelle's strong enough. She's proven in that community really strong. And I think it's, these people running against her potentially are doing so just to support the Democrats. And they may be doing that. Yes. And if it's that obvious, and then I don't think it's going to be as disruptive as they had planned. But time will tell. And you're right. We need to get out there and support her. We don't need to give up and say the race is over. It's not.
No, heck no.
Okay.
We need to harder for her.
Well, absolutely. Well, I wouldn't work hard for her if I thought she had no chance, but I know she does.
Oh, heck no.
And I know regardless of the situation, Michelle is the stronger candidate out there, wonderful candidate. And she does need support. And we'll get it. And we'll sort through this other one. But in the general, it's not going to be 2 against 3. It's going to be 2 against 2 in the general. And that's the important one.
Well, and here last time, okay, yeah, we'll go 2 against 2. Now, do we split our vote enough again? That's what it all comes down to. We split the Democrats' vote, and they lost. I can split our vote. Maybe we lose.
I don't know.
Well, that's
Politics is interesting.
that's
It's enjoyable to me.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
But it can be horrible. It can't be, but it's
yeah.
it's a contact sport, and we need to look at it open eyes and do our best for the people that we want to support, and we got to support them for the right reason. That's to help our community, help our state, and help our country, and help us move forward with the right policies and the right attitudes. And Michelle Pena embraces all of that for me, and that I think she's absolutely right on so many levels. And but even to get agreement from all Republicans, it's tough to do at times. But I think
anybody that listens to your show and listens to Russ Limbaugh, he's all.
Yeah.
On your Thanksgiving, was it Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I got to play Rush Limbaugh yesterday. It's not copyrighted, so I can do that. Yeah.
You know what he really told us? How hard people really work to make us a free nation. And that's what we've got to be smart enough to keep it.
Yeah, we do.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Remember single shot me. Bye.
Bye. Well, and the issue with it, with Michelle Pena, she did get single shot, and that's because no Republican really wanted to run in that district, because historically it's a Democrat district, and it's primarily it's mostly registered Democrats. I don't know what the percentages are, but it's heavily the percentages are higher Democrats than Republicans. And historically, there's not a lot of success from Republicans that do run occasionally. Michelle Pena ran as the only Republican running in that district, and she won on her first time. And she's a special girl. She did a great job, and she won. Well, now that she's done it twice, she's won twice, and they came after her hard last time, spent tens of thousands of dollars to try to destroy her. It didn't work. And she won. Now we have 3 Republicans running for that seat in a seat that normally would rarely have one that would put their name in to give it a good shot. And now we have 3. Now that's not by mistake. Either they see, well, this district is changing, which I don't know if it is or not. I think it has to do with the special lady. Or they're there trying to weaken the Michelle's chances by giving her competition within the party, since the Democrats couldn't beat her, giving competition within the party. And the way that works, because there's 2 seats available after the primary, there'll be 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans running for those 2 seats. So it'll be 4 people. Last time, Michelle, there was only 3, because there was 1 Republican and 2 Democrats. And the top 2 vote getters get the seats. Well, now there's 4 people, and the top 2 vote getters are going to get the seat. And what Carl is suggesting is that her chances were better being 1 in 3 versus 1 in 4, because there's going to be another Democrat or another Republican that may siphon off a few votes from her. He's not thinking wrong, but I don't think that puts her completely out of the running. And I think it depends on the Republican. And are they there just to disrupt so that Michelle can't win? Are they serious about running? Or are they there for nefarious purposes, which is legal, by the way? You can do that. You can run. There's no limitations on it. You can't say, well, you're not allowed to. The Republican Party can't stop her. Nobody can. Or, of course, can't stop anybody that's running. But I think the voters, hopefully, are smart enough, paying enough attention as we get closer to that situation to try to figure out who those other 2 Republicans are, what their motives are, and what are they really trying to achieve. And we'll be talking more about that as we get closer to those elections. And I get a chance to bring those people on air and talk to them openly about what are you really trying to get accomplished, and we'll hear from them. But unlike Carl, I am not going to count Michelle out. I'm going to tell you that Michelle is strong, she's confident, and she's going to work hard. And I think the voters will see that. If there's 4 people in the race or 3, I think Michelle, even though she starts off as a disadvantage because registered voters are more percentage-wise Democrat, I think people go through that to make sure we have that leadership from Michelle continue. We're going to be right back. AM 560.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday. It's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
This is as real as it gets. Get up, get kids up, feed the dog, feed the kids, out the door, work, pick up kids, dinner, bath, bed, repeat. You strive all day to make life better for them. So why not make life better for you? Get Strive-free checking at Avenir Financial. No frills, no fuss, no monthly fee. Open a Strive-free checking today at avenirfinancial.org. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
As the nights get colder, some Yuma families are simply hoping for something warm to sleep in. This holiday season, El Dorado Broadcasters and Avenir Financial invite you to join DJs for PJs, a pajama drive, bringing comfort to those who need it most. Please donate new, unused, warm pajamas, any size, from baby to adult, now through December 14th. Drop them off at our station, Avenir Financial, or any local Little Caesars Pizza. Your gift will help local families through Amberley's Place and Arizona's Children Association, because sometimes a little warmth can mean the world.
Allo Fibers teamed up with DirecTV and launched Allo Mobile. This product combination means internet you can count on, streaming TV you can watch anytime and anywhere, and nationwide coverage on your mobile plan that you can depend on. It's real service, and it comes with real savings because now you can switch, stack, and save and get all 3 of those services at one affordable price. A savings you won't want to miss. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Since 1905, the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce has been the voice for business in Greater Yuma. Want to stay informed about Yuma's business community? The Chamber connects you with local leaders, business and marketing opportunities, and advocacy that ensures Yuma stays a great place for your business to grow and thrive. Serving all of Yuma and Yuma County, including the Kokopah and Quishan nations, the Chamber strengthens partnerships that move our region forward. Be part of Yuma's business network. Call Valeria or Ashley today at 928-782-2567.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said. He'll make America great again. So get on that Trump train.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU. Yuma.
It was premeditated murder. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. tells Fox the morning after Sarah Beckstrom, one of the two National Guard troops shot Wednesday in an ambush attack, died.
As a prosecutor, my job is to prove what happened at that scene. And make no mistake, we will do that.
Janine Pirro also says
there are certainly many more charges to come, but we are upgrading the initial charges of assault to murder in the first degree.
Andrew Wolf remains in critical condition. He and Beckstrom were part of a West Virginia deployment assisting President Trump's D.C. crime crackdown. And Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito from that state just told Fox,
it's a horrific attack, a terrorist attack on our peacekeepers. Sarah and Andrew were there to keep peace in our capital city, to be a part of the presence there so that it could be safer. And they were taken down by the very thing they were trying to prevent.
The suspected gunman's an Afghan national, Ramanullah Lakhanwal, who was wounded by other Guard members after the attack. He fought with the U.S. during the war and then came here after the American Afghanistan withdrawal and was granted asylum just 7 months ago. President Trump posted on Truth Social,
I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions. The president says he will be ending federal benefits for non-citizens, denaturalizing migrants who he says undermine domestic tranquility.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. After all the feasting, a lot of Americans are shopping. It's Black Friday, the start of the holiday season, in stores and online. And while the National Retail Federation estimates the average shopper will spend a little less this year,
the retail industry group is predicting a record turnout over the long Thanksgiving weekend. It estimates more than 187 million people will shop in stores and online. That's about 3 million more than last year's record. Black Friday remains the big day with Cyber Monday right behind it.
That's Kennedy Hayes in Chicago. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare. Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you. And you got to make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money. Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the News 11's Information Desk, I'm Julina Aguilera. The holidays are just around the corner, and the Yuma Police Department are preparing to catch drivers under the influence. Officers are taking every precaution to ensure drunk driving incidents don't happen this Thanksgiving. While drunk drivers are difficult to spot regularly, officers are still trying everything they can to recognize signs that someone may be intoxicated. Officers are encouraging drivers to stay safe and to be thinking about visitors from out of Yuma during the holidays. Plus, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced the site for its new Yuma temple and released a rendering of what it will look like. The temple will be built near the Walmart in the foothills. Its dome and landscaping reflects Yuma's Spanish history and desert green scenery. The church does not have a set timeline yet, but a groundbreaking and public open house are expected as the project moves forward. Catch us on TV Saturday News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for your latest local news, weather, and sports.
Allo Fiber's got the real deal. Check this out right now. Switch, stack, and save, combining Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, and lock in your price for 2 years. 2 years of premium service with no surprises. Check it out at allofiber.com/stack.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3".
He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp just like he said.
America. AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you, and I have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Hey, Russ, how's it going?
Going well, sir. How are you, Gilbert? Do you get enough turkey?
Oh, I don't do turkey.
That's right, ham, whatever.
No, actually, myself and 5 other friends, Carla, we went to Cracker Barrel last night.
Really?
First time we ever done it. What a great service! Our server was phenomenal. Kimberly was her name, I believe.
All right.
She was phenomenal. But the reason I called you, what other Republicans are running in Michelle Peña's district?
I only know the one of them. That would be Gary Snyder.
Gary Snyder.
Yeah.
Wow. That guy, I don't understand.
I don't think I do either.
I don't understand where he gets his money to run.
I don't really think about that. I mean, I know he works down in Mexico. He does some baseball stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but we know they don't make enough money in Mexico for that.
I have no idea.
But I don't understand why he's doing what he's doing. I really don't.
That
I really
don't. I don't. I haven't talked to him. I haven't called him. That's going to come. I don't know if he'll take my call. My understanding, he's not talking to a lot of people.
Well, I know this of his. He's a carpetbagger. I know that he ran against Angry. Remember Mr. Angry?
Mr. Angry? I don't know.
Yeah, he ran for a congressional seat or senator seat way back when. He was a black gentleman, I believe his last name was Angry.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Yeah. And he was running to split up Gary was running to split up the votes so the voters would vote for him and give Mr. Angry a better chance of winning.
Oh.
That's what he told me way back when.
Uh-huh.
And that didn't work very well for Mr.
Angry
or Mr. Snyder.
No, did not.
And then he tried it again, claiming that he lived in the foothills area, so he could run against Mr.
Nick Cupper, or was it Nick?
Yeah. Nick Cupper and
Michael
Carbone.
Carbone, yeah, Michael Carbone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you and I were at the same rally that he got on stage, and he claimed he lived in San Luis, so he knows what's going on. At the same time, he was telling people that he lived out here in the foothills.
Yeah, his official address changed to one that his mother owns out in the foothills. Correct.
But you remember that he did that? You were there with me, and I said, look, Russ, he's claiming he lives in San Luis while he's running in 25.
Yep, that was his address for many years before he made that quick change. Yep.
Yeah, San Luis was his address.
Well, he still owned the house too, and his wife still lived there.
Right. Well, his wife and kids lived there while he was supposedly living in 25.
Yeah, I heard a lot of stories about that. Yeah.
Oh, you not only heard him, you knew the truth, Russ. But
Well, after he lost the election, he moved right back to San Luis. So.
Yeah, but you know what he was about, and you were supporting him at one time, which is America's. We're allowed to do that.
Well,
so
I support his candidacy. A lot of people wanted him thrown out, but you got a right to be there. But
yeah, how do you support someone's candidacy when you know he's false?
Well, you don't.
How do you support that?
You don't vote for him,
but you support him.
I support his candidacy. He had a right to be on the ticket, but that was all.
Yeah. So that's what now he's doing this again. I mean,
yeah.
I hope our GOP here in Yuma sort of tells them, "Nah, you need to go away." I really do.
Well, they might have, but if they did, Gary doesn't have to listen. They've got no control on his candidacy or his party affiliation. That's up to him,
And he fits right in the mold with all the other ones that are trying to destroy Arizona. We got a lot of things happening in Tucson right now. This is happening in Seattle. Same things going on as far as the homeless. Same things going on as far as the council. They voted to make street drug use a misdemeanor.
Huh.
Yeah, this happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad direction to go.
Yeah, but this is what we're going at, and people like Snyder, believe me, they're going to do everything they can to get elected, and that's what they have to do to convince them that we're playing by your rules to get those votes from the Democrats to put them in there. That's what's happening. That's what's happening all across America. You got that idiot, that councilwoman, or is it a mayor? It was the mayor in Oregon. The mayor in Oregon talking about our troops, the National Guards. These are all paid by high dollar people. I believe George Soros and people like George Soros are paying all these people to go in that direction.
Well, he's been helping a lot of campaigns for sure.
Yeah, and what they're doing, these guys are the same people that were educated by all the draft dodgers and all the college students that are in office now that created all that mayhem. And Vietnam caused the destruction of America in many ways, politically, mentally, physically, because what they did, how they fought that war, and how they convinced our people, our citizens, to yell at and spit at our soldiers as they're coming home. Soldiers did what they were asked to do. And they came home, they had these students convinced to spit in our soldiers. And we had those, excuse me?
Terrible time.
Yeah, but what's worse for us, these people that were spitting on our soldiers, they're the ones that are in politics. They're the ones that are running our country. They're the ones that are destroying it. And too many people are allowed to talk a bunch of BS and get away with it. Too many people of all races have been educated enough to play the victim card. That's where we're at today.
Yeah, we got too many of them doing that. But it's not, they're not just running the whole country, they're running parts of it. And I'll tell you, there's there is a push to support more conservative, and there's conservatives are getting more support than they've ever gotten, from what I see. And Trump's popularity was 87% at the start of the year, and now it's 87%. That's amongst GOP, not the entire population.
Russ, you're talking. You're right. You're right about a small majority of people are doing this, but the small majority of these people are doing it have the most power, the media.
Of course, but it's being chipped. We're chipping away constantly. It's still a force, but it's not running.
But you're saying a small portion of America is doing it, but that small portion is a very powerful. It's like a guerrilla. A guerrilla squad. You have a Ranger squad. No. 5 men are very, very powerful.
Nobody's disagreeing with that. But the more and more they're getting exposed, more and more there's transparency. More and more they're losing battles, and that's good news. That's very good news.
It is. You know what? I'm not a pessimist. I'm not a pessimist at all, but I'm a realist. I know what's causing it, and every day we see it. We see it. We're in today. That idiot that shot our National Guardsman, he has 5 kids, and he's in housing. Do you know that? He lives in housing where we have American veterans that are living in the streets. Him and his 5 kids.
Oh, I mean, state supported housing. You mean he's got? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. No, it's not good, but there are a lot of them. What I'm getting at, a lot of Afghans that are here are in housing where our veterans and our citizens are in the street.
Well, this incident is caused Trump and his administration to relook at all the Afghans that are here, just like he's relooking at all the Somalians, took away protections from the Somalians, based on a lot of what we've seen. And the same thing is going to happen with this group of people that came over in 21 that were not vetted, as the Trump administration the Biden administration lied about. They were not vetted.
They said this guy worked with the CIA.
He worked with them. Yes, he was probably. Yeah.
Well, they had a whole bunch of them with the CIA back then. There were a bunch of tattletales for the CIA, and they got preferential benefits, like nice hotel or apartment. Same with the Somalians. Here we have what's her name says answer the phone for Somalia first and America second, and she's a congresswoman.
She says that really. She does. I know, and
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
And
Hopefully
why
that.
can't we kick it out? I mean, I understand the First Amendment rights. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But we need some John Wayne kind of people back in the White House.
And that's up to the voters there in that area. And unfortunately, probably a big portion of them are going to be Somalians, and they'll probably agree with her. And that's dangerous, and it needs to be broke up. Trump's working on that.
And how about this? What's his name? The governor over there, Walsh. Is that right, Walsh?
Tim, he's been kind of quiet. Since they found out all the corruption from the Somalia groups and all the money's going back to Somalia.
Yeah, well, it's all going to come to him, right? From my understanding, he's the one that signs the paper. He's the one that signs that paper.
Well,
for the aid.
He's the governor, so he's responsible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We need all of them. All of them. The thing is, we hear all these things happen, all the corruption's happening, and all these guys indictment, so-called indictment, but nothing's happening. And that's what we, the people of the United States of America, are tired of.
Well, I tell you, a lot's been happening more because we didn't know about this corruption. We didn't know. So something's happening. It's getting released. We're getting some understanding, and they took away special protections that was supposed to last to, I think, 80 to 27, and they took and Trump is taking that away, and that's going to result in a lot more people being deported that should not have been here in the first place. Well, so I like those things happening. I like that a lot, actually.
And Reed and the rest of them, they're doing the brown skin thing, the victim of the brown skin.
Sure,
with ICE,
of course,
and
that's automatic.
Somalia's got brown skin.
I think so, and it doesn't matter to me. It's what it's people's actions that matter. So yeah.
And the sad thing about it is, what did they say about one apple can destroy a whole bushel?
Yeah, for apples, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what Somalians did. All the people that were screwing us over, taking our money, there are a whole bunch of apples in that bushel.
Well, I agree with this, that if somebody says it's easy, let me show you how to do it, that's going to spread like crazy. And that's probably how it got to be as large as it is that information and training on how to cheat the system, particularly on the autism issues. That the more that happened, the more it was going to happen, because there were no controls and nobody was saying what's going on. Why do we have 100 times more applicants getting autism? Where did all this autism come from?
Russ, I'll tell you what something happened in the late 70s, I believe. Remember, there was a newspaper article this gentleman wrote, "Send me $1 and I'll show you how to become a millionaire." Well, people were sending them money. Do you remember that when that happened?
I don't remember that. I remember to buy my book on how to become a millionaire, or whatever.
No, send me $1. Yeah. Send me $1. And people were sending him money, and he showed them.
I do remember that. Yeah. I think my sister got involved in that.
And they were trying to sue him. He goes, "For what? I didn't lie to you."
It was some kind of chain letter thing or something.
Yeah, but he won. He didn't. He went to court. He won. He goes, "What did I do wrong? I became a millionaire by doing what I said to do."
Yeah, I think it was a chain letter. We had to send it out, send $1 to the people at the top of the letter, and then send it to 10 friends or something. I don't know. It was something silly. Yeah.
Well, these guys found how to beat the system.
Yeah.
And our system is easier to beat. And then again, what I love what's going on with it's cracking me up. There are good NGOs out there. There are. But there's a whole bunch of them that aren't. And too bad they're shutting down all the NGOs, because there are some good ones out there.
I don't think they're shutting them all down, but they are definitely pulling back on a lot of the nonsense.
Yeah, they're shutting them down. And, and it all started when we investigated USAID.
USAID was a very bad organization, as far as bad for the way they handled U.S. tax dollars. Yes.
But that's how we found out a lot of this corruption when they started investigating USA. And they go,
I think they've known. I think they've known for a long time. It's just USAID was such a poster child for doing it wrong, it brought a lot of attention and a lot more attention, and that's a good thing.
U.S. aid were for riches for Democrats or for corrupt politicians that were involved. That's what U.S. aid was all about.
Well, there's a lot of
there's no other way to color it. Politicians of some sorts, whether they're senators, governors, or people that give money to politicians.
All right.
That's it. Anyway, I'm out of here.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
catch you.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was Gilbert. He had a lot of issues today. I didn't get any Thanksgiving from you, Gilbert, or that'd be something you're thankful for. And I am thankful for, a lot of the things that Gilbert mentioned. I'm thankful they got exposed. I'm thankful that there's actually people working on the problems now. I'm thankful that the issues with the Somalians, the issue with the corruption, the issues. I mean, it's exposed and it allowed the administration to zone in on it and to start making changes in order to rectify these sins that have been going on since Obama. Obama, not NGOs. NGOs existed before Obama, but Obama put them on steroids, and the corruption grew and grew within the NGOs. I think Elon Musk, when he first started doing the Doge, mentioned the NGOs as far as they become shell games, piggy banks for the party. They get a contract or something and a big portion of that contract will go to overhead, to salaries, and a lot of that goes back to Democrat Party as donations to support the machinery that's been funding these NCOs, to support the support for these NGOs goes back to keep them elected. And he did say it was both parties, and then he said it was like 95% Democrat, though. And I don't know which Republicans NGOs are involved in these kinds of schemes. I have no idea. But Trump. Musk did not rule it out. He said there were some of them, but they're all equally bad if they're fleecing us. They're all equally bad, and it doesn't matter. And I think one of the worst was it Donna Brazil that got $2 billion as when Biden lost the election, or the Democrats lost the election when Biden was still in office, and he was just throwing gold bars off the Titanic, as it was put by some of his staff, just throwing money everywhere before Trump got in. And Donna Brazil ended up with $2 billion in her little NGO, which I hope was recovered, some of it or most of it. I hope that was recovered. I started talking about National Guard Sarah Beckstorm, 20-year-old lady. It's just so unnecessary, all this. Killed by this Afghan national. Which I hope we find out more about. I hope he survives. I hope he survives long enough that we can find out the whole story of why, what the support is, what's causing this, so that we can work on those issues. A lot of support for that family and Sarah's family, and for all of that, from so many big names: Pete Hegseth, Gene Pereiro, Pam Bondi, Caroline Leavitt, Patrick Morrissey, that's the governor of West Virginia, Kash Patel. I mean, that are writing on X or pushing in, of course, the president of the United States, that are sending out prayers and well wishes and hope for our nation and for her. It's just heartwarming to see this administration empathy, this administration's seriousness about wanting to bring justice and to stop this rot that's going on. And I think this rot starts with the Democrat Party supporting the anti-ICE, anti-National Guard, anti-crap that has been going on with leadership, with governors, with senators, with representatives. It's just been mind-boggling when I see it and see these guys come out and talk so positively about the criminals and so negatively about the enforcement. So it's just I don't understand how they get elected. I don't understand how they keep getting in office. Newsom and Pritzker are the two, I think, two of the biggest that are doing it. Both looking to be president by that. Yeah, we want to be president, so we're going to go against this president on policies, and we don't have to enforce policies of the president. And I want to be a president because I know my policies won't get enforced. It's just ridiculous, but that's what's going on. This Afghani shooter, I think it was mentioned that he did work with various government agencies, including the CIA, part of the partnership. And when we're in a country like Afghanistan and fighting for a cause, the CIA does reach out to a lot of people who live there. A lot of bad guys too. It's not all good guys. A lot of bad guys, but there's a lot of, from what I understand, talking to some veterans, there was a lot of really good Afghanis that had their heart in making their country better, had their heart in getting fairness and overcoming some of the graft, and then there's some bad guys too that they got in there. Just because they work with the CIA doesn't mean they were all great. Sometimes, just like police officers do, they get confidential informants or something. And the confidential informants are not usually the librarians. They might be a fellow drug dealer, but I have no idea who this Afghani was. But I'm not impressed that he worked with CIA, so that means he was a good guy. In fact, I don't think if you are a CIA agent that you're a good guy necessarily. We've had a lot of issues with the CIA and other agencies that have been just terrible. The John Ratcliffe, the CIA director, said, look, in the wake of disastrous Biden withdrawal from Afghanistan, the Biden administration justified bringing the alleged shooter to the United States in September of 21. Due to his prior work with the U.S. government, including CIA, as a member of a partner force in Kandahar, which ended shortly following the chaotic evacuation. The individual and so many others should have never been allowed to come here. Our citizens and service members deserve far better than to endure the ongoing fallout from the Biden administration's catastrophic failure. God bless our brave troops. Yeah, this heinous thing that happened with these National Guard members, which has been on social media and stuff. I mean, a lot of the video or tapes of the shooting has been on video. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Ted. I was going to stop by and say hello, and I know that you live on Palo Verde. I didn't know where though, or I would have thrown rocks or something.
Oh, yes, you do so. I told you exactly where it is.
What but you think my memory's that sound and it's a trap door? Is that right?
Better be for you to run this radio station with me calling in. It better be.
What's happening?
Not much. No, I'll tell you, man, what's fueled this and all our network news for since the Afghanistan pullout.
Yeah.
You know what's burned into my mind, and I can tell you what's in the Afghanis' mind? Remember those planes as they were leaving the runway and people were trying to get on it and get out of there with us that we were using to run that operation over there? Remember that? Every night on the news, they showed that.
Yeah, that cargo plane that took off with tens of people just hanging on to the wings just to get out of Afghanistan. They lost their lives. I mean, you can't hang on to a wing of a transport jet for very long.
No, and that tire rolls when you're hanging on it, trying to get up in the plane. It was disgusting, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is burned into the minds of Afghanis that we were using over there. I mean, what he did was wrong. He should have never done it. He should be put to death, hung. Covered with pork fat and hung.
The Afghani that came over here and shot
all of them.
Yeah.
But that's burned into my mind, that sight of that. You know what I mean? And it's there. You can't get rid of it.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare picture. It's a nightmare reality that that really
And
happened.
they
Just people want it out so bad.
I know. And they keep showing it, and they keep showing it, which maybe it's good that they keep showing it. I don't know. We should just learn not to get involved in certain stuff.
Well, hopefully we learn something from it.
I mean,
but Biden and the Democrats said that the pullout was perfect. You know, and if there was anything wrong, it's because Trump planned it, which is so ridiculous. Trump was not president, dude.
Right. That's Hillary, Biden, and his entourage of fools.
Trump would have never left Kandahar anyway. It would have been. We would have still owned it. We'd still be there, just like we own Guantanamo. You know, it would have stayed.
But everybody needs to know that was Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and their backdoor CIA crap.
I think more of that needs to surface. I mean, I agree with you. There's so much we don't know yet. But we got CIA people coming forward now that said, look, CIA is so corrupt, we need to close it. We just need to end the CIA. We need to shut it down. I don't know if that's really what we need to do. I have no idea. I'm not involved, but to have CIA agents say that is kind of crazy.
All I know is all our branches of the military have their own intelligence division.
Yeah.
Why do we need them? To cover up the criminality that goes on in our politics?
Well, it certainly did, especially on the J6 when you find out how many was that FBI agents, not agents, but assets were involved in that thing. It's just like, really? I mean, the whole thing appears more of a setup the more we know. That's why we're not supposed to know anything.
Like I say, we spend a lot of tax dollars. We have naval intelligence, Air Force, Army, and civilian intelligence. We don't need CIA. That was an illegal agency anyway. And that comes from people in the Pentagon in Fort Belvoir that told me that. That is the illegal agency.
Wait, don't you have family members that worked at CIA?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, not government. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Assets.
I guess you could call them GMOs.
Okay.
Government mobster.
Mobsters. Okay. Mobsters.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't gonna tell you his name. Anyway,
no, we don't need
no. I'm telling you, man. Right now, we've got multiple intelligence agencies.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the CIA. We don't need them.
But it's I have no idea. But there's CIA agents that say we don't need them. So that's kind of impressive.
Telling the truth.
Maybe. I'd like to have somebody from Washington tell the truth. You know, from that swamp.
Well, you ain't going to get that.
That'd be
believe me, you'll never get that.
The more truth we learn, I mean, it's more of a nightmare than the Afghanis falling off that plane. I mean, it's just sad. It's terrible.
I know. Like I say, it's burned in my brain every time I hear something. The word Afghanistan. That's the first image that pops in my brain, and it pops in theirs too.
Yeah.
You know, dastardly or not.
Hey, so did you have a good Thanksgiving?
It was lovely.
Okay.
I got to watch all my gut feel and everybody else. My wife is happy because Dallas won.
Oh, did you watch that? The Dallas and
please.
Chiefs and all that stuff? I saw a lot of that game. It was actually, I don't watch football much anymore. It used to be my favorite sport, but it was actually a good game.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was to the end, to the end.
Yeah.
But what my teams in there playing, the Redskins weren't there, so it didn't really matter.
Redskins haven't been on the field in many years. Yeah.
I have to choose to root for Kansas City because Mama's a Dallas fan, die hard.
You know, I was watching the Kansas City, and I haven't seen many games recently because I stopped watching during the whole kneeling stuff and all that anti-patriot stuff.
Right.
But when I saw the game and I saw the coach of the Chiefs,
Schottenheimer,
I was shocked that he looked so bad, and it made me it made me look up how old he was. Like how can he still be coach? I'm older than he is.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I didn't know, and I was thinking, I gotta do even better to take care of myself. I don't want to,
Well,
But he looked
it's
like he wasn't gonna make it.
yeah. Believe me,
That was,
that's,
and it's
you know
Andy. It's Andy. I'm thinking Andy Reid, buddy, not Schottenheimer. Andy Reid, the current coach.
right.
Yeah.
Andy Reid. It's one of the most stressful jobs you could probably have.
Probably
Less a military agency or whatever, but it's got to be stressful. I mean, what we put our high school coaches through in football.
But this guy looks like he's more than stressed, man. I mean, it looks like it's hamburgers and ice cream, but he looks. And he was 13 years, I think, with Philadelphia, and then probably 12, 13 years here with the Chiefs. He's been at it back to back for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm older than him. But if you say I look it, you're going to be my enemy. There you go.
Nonetheless, I think it was a well coached game.
Yeah, it was.
And
He did
well
a great
played.
job. He's a great coach, man.
Yeah.
He did great for the Philadelphia, even though he never won a Super Bowl. But I don't know how many he's got with Chiefs, like 3 or something, 2 or 3 that he's got with the.
Not like the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots kind of broke some records that may not be addressed for a long time. You can't say never, but for right now, I don't see anybody coming up like that. I don't.
Yeah, I try not to look at the teams as far as who likes them or not. I like to look at the technique, the skill, the play by play. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's an attitude and the technique and that attitude of winning and all that. I mean, they were just confident that they could pull it off no matter what. Same with like Joe Montana back during the day when he got on there, or Theismann, whatever. But you knew these guys were just so confident, and the people around them so confident in their squad, so confident they could be down a couple touchdowns. They said, "No, we got this."
Right. You never give up.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 3-45. You never give up.
But the teams that have internal problems that have, strife, player against player inside and all that stuff, they can't control the attitude and that, and they kind of crumble. They can't stand, and they're not going to win Super Bowls.
Right, and that's one thing about, at least with my high school football team, we didn't lose any games because our internal politics were just nothing. Everybody was there to do what they were supposed to do. There was no he's better than I am. We all just worked to get the job done.
And you're talking about a lot of egos, a lot of people coming together, and that's tough for a coach. Like you said, it's a good coach. Coach got to pull that thing together. You got a lot of egos out there. You got a lot of people that are best, top of their game, and for them all to get along as a unit, as a team, it's a tough job. I mean, the coach got to push that. Maybe that's why Andy looks old.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: things that went on at my high school in football probably would be jail time for coaches now.
Yeah, things have changed.
They grabbed me by the face mask and the other left half back and hit our face of our helmets together to straighten us out. I don't know if that floats anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. There's probably some limitations. Now,
Got my attention.
I hung around the Catholic high school here a lot when my daughter was going there, and I did the on-field broadcasting out of the booth. And all that, so I got to know all that stuff. And those coaches were disciplined. But I didn't see him grab a lot of helmets. But who knows? Rhett Stallworth maybe did. I don't know. Didn't see it.
No, they had the nuns hit them with Bibles and rulers.
Yeah, they didn't get away with that. Yeah.
All right. You have a good day.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye. That was Ted. Let me take a break. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Overnight tonight, cool 50, partly cloudy skies, 76 and sunny on Friday, 48 Friday night. And then for the continuation of the holiday weekend, sunny and 74 Saturday, 73 and sunny on Sunday.
Today, we're talking with aphids and whiteflies about Safina insecticide from BASF. We just got nailed with it. So tell us, how you feeling?
Really, really weird.
And you still want to devour this field?
No way, bro.
There you have it, folks. Safina insecticide is specifically engineered to disorient aphids and whiteflies, so they can't eat. And when they can't eat, they can't destroy.
Help protect your alfalfa from aphids with Safina insecticide. Always read and follow label directions.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258.
What's up, Yuma, and hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Aloe Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slowed down speeds. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Aloe Fiber.
Sprague Sports is Yuma's hunting and shooting headquarters, and Sprague's has been serving Yuma hunters and shooters for over 66 years. Today, we're in need of used guns. 1 gun, 10 guns, 100-gun collection, all are welcome and needed. We buy, sell, trade, and consign used guns 6 days a week and offer free appraisal. So stop by or call Sprague Sports today and let the friendly staff surprise you with how much your extra guns may be worth. Sprague sells thousands of used guns yearly and offers an exclusive lifetime warranty on all guns, a $100 value. So pick up the phone, get in the car, whatever it takes. You got used firearms? Sprague's is your place. Who knows what you're sitting on and who knows what it's worth? Let the fine folks at Sprague Sports help you figure it out. Used firearms at Sprague's. Sprague's, Yuma's hunting and shooting headquarters. Responsible gun ownership since 1956. Sprague's, 32nd Street, next to Lowe's.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday, it's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. It's 7:42 on a Friday morning. Phone lines are open 928-344-5258. Brendan Nyap is he's a Dartmouth professor of government. I got a story about him, but let me take this phone call first. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ.
Morning, OG.
You were just talking about sissy football.
Yes.
Well, they're calling it sissy football now. You know that, don't you?
I didn't know sissy football, but okay.
Well, you didn't watch the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs last night?
I did. I watched a lot of it. I didn't see everything because it was with family. But yeah.
Well, they ruined football. They ruined it when they started abusing the flag and the Star Spangled Banner for me. I just quit watching it.
Yeah.
And other people should not watch it because what's happening with the flag and the anthem is the cameras are just not showing the black players abusing the flag. You know, not putting their hand over the heart and all. They're just not showing that on purpose.
Huh.
To entice you to watch the football game. That's the only difference. The camera is just not picking them up, but they are still abusing it. Anyway, here's a sissy football. I'm sure you're aware of the rules. You got to be. The ball, they changed the kicking rules for this season. The ball is kicked from the 35-yard line. Everyone on the kicking team must wait at the 40-yard line until the ball hits the ground or is touched by a returner inside the 20.
Oh. I guess I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't know. I don't watch that.
Well, if you know football, it's so stupid because you sit there and everybody is standing still as a frame. I guess they get a penalty if they move, like in motion. Yeah, it's stupid. And if this doesn't change, it's like touch football, my friend. Touch football is for girls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ladies, but when you get the brawn that men have, when you get the 46-inch chest and not just fatty tissue that's called a breast, when you get a muscles, and if, when you're standing in line at the post office to register for a draft, then I'll give you my part of my equal rights. I will, but not until then. You've got to register for the draft, ladies, to get inside my head. You got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm serious, Russ. People, we should hold women accountable. If you want, for instance, I got so sick in Vegas at the casinos. A woman wanted equal rights for wages. Well, if she does equal work, I'm all for it. But on the drop is when they do the drop in the early morning hours, because lack of traffic, so they're taking the money out of all the slot machines. There's like 3,000 slot machines, Russ. So it's quite a monumental task when they do a drop, and there's a lot of money involved. Well, the women cannot can't lift more than 40 pounds. Well, a damn bucket is about 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
And so all these porters, they're excused, but they all get paid the same money. That is just not right, Russ. All the men are on the rosters for the drop, but the women don't have to come in at midnight. That is just wrong. That's racist, and it's just wrong. Anyway, me and Tony, we held that end of it up at the casino I worked at. We wouldn't hire. And boy, we stayed in trouble with the Labor Board of Nevada. We did. And the feds, too. Feds were. But when they rebuilt the casino I worked in, we were careful. I say we because we were part of it. I was helped bring it in when they built it. We were careful to put inboard the sidewalks some 50 feet from the street, making the ownership of the sidewalks belong into the MGM Grand. So you couldn't protest out there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Did that on purpose. And so that's why, and they couldn't protest labor or nothing, because if they did, they got arrested for trespassing on private property. Oh, yeah. And so what we did between the street, if you ever go there, it's quite interesting, the history of Las Vegas. If you look at it, you can see it as you're walking around or driving around. You can see the history. It just jumps at you. And the walkways going on, the Vegas Boulevard is now like a freeway because the walkways are built up over and above it, okay?
They are now, yep.
Yeah, well, they got escalators, and some of them that can take you up and take you across. And then Caesar's Palace has an escalator that takes you all the way into the casino. They just don't bring you back to the street, Russ.
One-way walkways. I never noticed, yeah.
Working there for 30 years, as I did, and we get 33 to 40 million people a year. This is where I learned that people are just freaking stupid. Okay, because they come to bring scared money, thinking they're going to double their rent money, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I walked around for some 30 years. Ding, 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 ding. And they even cheer when somebody else wins money, Russ. That is sick.
Okay.
Well, it is. You're never happy when somebody else takes the money out of the machine and you don't get it.
Oh.
But anyway, and 95% of women are the ones that do the slot machine crap.
Oh.
And they don't play cards. No, they don't.
Okay.
And so they're eliminating the card games, but the men are really good at card players. I'm a good card player, by the way, so I make most of my money. Because you can't beat me in poker. No kind of poker, no matter what it is, Chicago or any of it, you can't beat me. Because there's only 52 cards for us. And you read character. Character is the twitches of your face. When you're looking happy or just a little twitch of a smile, I can tell exactly what you got. And I'll take you down.
Yeah, I don't have that skill, but yeah, that's why I can't play you, OG.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Of course, I know. I just don't have it. Yeah.
I'm on top of that character bit. Boy, and I'll do anything I can to insult your mama, your daddy, anything to get you off your game to the point where you want to kill me right at the poker table. Because I'm cool. I'm cool in the game. Everybody says I am. Except to the people I'm ragging on. Kind of like a Muhammad Ali of poker playing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, he would rattle people for sure.
Yeah, he did. Even Joe Frazier got rattled.
Yeah.
But you remember the change the subject, but he's rope-a-dope and Charlie Manila and all that stuff.
Oh man, he was colorful, fun to watch, fun to listen to, and the people that hated him passionately.
Oh yeah. Well, I was at Houston, Texas, folks, when Muhammad Ali stood his ground and said, "Hell no, I won't go." And I got to tell you, as a Caucasian man, has nothing to do with it. I'm totally in his corner on this crap. Because in '67, Houston, Mississippi, they still had colored restrooms. They still had, black people had to walk up to the outside of a restaurant to order food. They couldn't go inside to get it. And what Muhammad Ali told the federal government, go to fight a white man's war, and then I got to come back to this crap. And he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether you know it or not, folks, Muhammad Ali, it cost him millions of dollars so you can run around pretending you ain't got no rights.
Okay.
Well, to say that because, I mean, look at the man. He stayed in the ring until he got battered up. His brain just got in the mush,
Yeah, that's sad. But he was a colorful guy. Really enjoyed his flair and everything. Yeah. But that wasn't universal.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but in Louisville, Kentucky, where Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay was his birth name, where he grew up at, he learned how to. They got boxers like wrestlers. They got paid 10% of the gate, and he learned how to fill the house to get people to hate him and to get them to come in to watch him get whooped. And so he trashed every opponent by getting a crowd to come in and pay just to see him get beat up, but he never got beat up.
Well, he made the bigger the crowd, the more money he made, regardless. That's something he understood.
Did you see his fight between him and Sonny Liston?
Oh yeah.
Boy, that was marvelous, wasn't it? Yeah. They accused Ali of fixing the fight, and that is just wrong. If fighting was fixed, it was a Liston crowd and before him. Because Ali, he was 22 years old, I think. He just came in and unfixed the whole damn mess. You know that, didn't you?
I didn't know. No.
Yeah. I was in L.A. at the time. I watched that, and it was a humdinger of a fight. They didn't fight in L.A. I just watched it. Either on the radio or something. I got kind of mixed up. But he was a hell of a fighter. He really was. He was top of his game.
Oh yeah, and he was very good at the PR, very good at getting out. Not many boxers have done that. Not many boxers have been good as he was.
No. But anyway, Muhammad Ali did a whole lot, and black people should give Muhammad Ali a lot of credit because Muhammad Ali didn't cut and run like Bill Clinton did and hide in England, going to Oxford, hide behind it. No, he didn't hide. He stood his ground, folks. Muhammad Ali, the black guy, he stood his damn ground. He said, hell no, I ain't going. And he took the wrath that the government dished out to. And by the way, folks, this was a Democratic government that gave him the wrath.
Yeah.
It wasn't Republicans.
No, and he gave up boxing for like 5 years for that or something.
Well, they suspended him from boxing. Now.
Right.
The Democrat government did.
Took his title. He was at the top of his game.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, this just spits right in the eye of the 77% of the black people that voted for that freaking Marxist Kamala Harris. They know nothing of their own damn history. And that's why I have to say this. Voting for a freaking Marxist. Come on, folks. No, China doesn't even want black people. Neither does Russia. You better wake up.
Yeah, you can tell when they go to the Olympics that everybody looks Chinese, or
Yes, and Japan. If you're black, they don't want you. So you better wake up, folks. This is the only country where you can make $1 million. I mean, just look around you. And that's why I had to talk about this sissy football. A bunch of black guys standing, big muscle black guys standing at the 40-yard line, Russ, picture this, waiting, looking backwards at the 20-yard line to be sure one of their own returners either touches the ball or the ball hits the ground. That is just asininely stupid.
Well,
think about it. I mean, my gosh, you got 11 players that cannot move until the ball touches the ground.
Well, I don't know that I like it, but the game's been changing forever. They always change it, but maybe it's not good.
There you go again with that. No, this is a monumental change, Russ. I've never seen football go this deep. I've never done it to go sissy. They might as well put flags in their pockets and let them jerk the flags out. I'm telling you. I'm not watching. I just happened to watch it last night to see if these rules held up, and they did. It looked so stupid.
I didn't pay attention to that part of it.
Well, what contrasted it was the Cowboys were dressed in white and the Kansas City was red and white, and it was like I just laughed. I went, "Whoa, man, they're really doing it," And I did. So it was a great. I didn't watch it the whole hour. I watched it something like 30 minutes because I'm 84, I mean, and I'm getting older, and I don't need to be wasting money on some freaking football.
Well, I appreciate the call, my friend. Take care.
Okay, you take care. Yeah.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah, football's changed over the years, and some of it for good. I remember Terry Bradshaw, if you remember that, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was so upset with some of the rule changing at the time, as far as hitting a quarterback and stuff like that. He thought, "What are you going to next? Put us in dresses?" I remember he was doing that. Joe Namath, same thing. Some of the old guys didn't like the rules that did more to protect players back then. And I guess people are still doing it. I need to take a break. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Hey, Yuma, it's DJs for PJs time. That's right. We're on a mission to collect new, warm pajamas for families in need. Swing by our radio station or Avenir Financial at 1780 South 1st Avenue and on North Frontage Road in the Foothills, or any local Little Caesars Pizza, and drop them off before December 14th. Every pajama helps bring a little comfort this winter. Let's come together and make sure everyone in Yuma has something cozy to snuggle up in.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3".
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It is already 7:57 on a Friday morning, and time goes fast. I started talking about Brendan Nyhan. I don't know if I can cover this, but he's a Dartmouth professor of government. And he wrote the Gen Z Americans, that'd be the youngest guys, huh? They've not taken to demonstrating against Trump the way that liberal boomers are. And he thinks that's a problem. He's a problem. As Trump has been subverting the rule of law and breaking constitutional constraints in his power. That's a professor. That you're not protesting enough. The absence of young people from conventional protests is both a problem and a warning. The opposition to Mr. Trump authoritarian speed requires new strategies that will engage a wider swath of population. So not only is he a Dartmouth professor of government, it sounds like he's a recruiter to get people to protest because Trump is such a horrible lawbreaker and breaking constitutional constraints. I would love to get a list from Brendan on what is it that he did that's breaking constitutional constraints. What rule of law has he been subverting? I'd like to know. He points out some statistics that he says only 8% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 say they took part in the protest in October, compared with 13% of those age 65 and older. That's according to YouGov.students. And he said, according to YouGov, students are the most conspicuous in their absence. Maybe they're smarter than the guys over 65. It's a sharp reversal from the number of young people who accounted for the 13% at the George Floyd protests. So he thinks government is helped by having large amounts of violent protest, I guess. When I think of George Floyd, that's what I think of, violent protest. And to protest Donald Trump, I'd like to know why he thinks that's so important. I mean, what is he doing other than stopping a Marxist movement, other than stopping socialism? Is that really what he thinks? He says the No Kings movement drew an estimated 5 million people to the street in October. Now, a lot of that was paid. So I think a lot of the population looks at that for what it is. But he thinks it was nowhere near the scale the protesters should have been. given the severity of the threat of Donald Trump should have been much higher because of that severity. Yeah, he's a professor at Dartmouth. Don't send your kids there. We'll be back. It's top of the hour. We got some investments.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.